myself. Okay, admit to the room. Oh, Lordy. Um, how are you tonight? Uh-oh. Hold up. Okay. We're just waiting for the with our trainer. There we go. Awesome, awesome. How are you this evening? Okay. How are you this evening?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So I sent pretty much everybody the actual link tonight. So, and I told them between 6 and 8. So, and Tammy specifically, if she's gonna pop on, I was gonna give her about a half hour to explain the roles, but I'll tell you more about it as well. Um, but tonight we're going to actually focus on, and by the way, you sent me an email, but
Yeah, it didn't have anything attached to it. That was the first one. The second one should have a bio.
okay. And did you get your photos done by any chance, or?
I didn't have all the photos done, so I wanted to set them all together.
Uh-huh.
So I gotta finish up the photos.
Okay, which ones do you have? Like the first 5 again?
Yeah.
Okay. Send me the first 5. That way then we can talk about them, because if it is what it is, then guess what? You're gonna be able to get those photos done on a professional level. So that's why I want to make sure, see what you have going with them. Do you like them?
I don't like them.
Why?
I don't want to send them.
Uh-oh. Okay, you don't want to send them? Okay. Well, we got plenty to do tonight anyway, so we are going to go with that. How prepared are you with the monologue? I'm hoping that you're very well prepared, because what's going to happen is, and I need to do this now before we go further. What other day? We're not going to do a Saturday evening this week because of what other day this week do you have a bed in the evening where you can do a cold read and make sure that you do your monologue within 90 seconds? Because I'm going to actually record you. It's not going to be live. I'm just going to record you, save the video, and then send it off to her. That's what I'm going to do with a lot of the clients that I'm working with.
What day works best for you?
At this point, well, because you're limited to Friday, I mean, after 4, right?
Right.
Friday. So I'm thinking perhaps Friday for you would be my option. We would just maybe pop one at 6 p.m. like we're doing now, but we want like a whole lot of time. We would just need time for you to do that cold read, but we're gonna rehearse some cold read and then I'm gonna have you actually, you don't have to like memorize it. The idea is to look directly at the camera, be camera ready, and
Mhm.
focus that at me, and then read. That's basically what a cold read is. I'll give you an example in a moment, but and then the monologue, of course. How much closer are you to where you can say, okay, I got this. I listened to it enough. I'm ready to like slam dunk this thing.
It's hard to say, honestly. It's like it's times where I can get through half of it without looking, and then I'll need to look.
Mhm. Okay. Well, let's see how you do today. I'm gonna have you do that. We're gonna work on the monologue now. That way, then we kind of get that part out of the way. Um, because I want to see what you know, and if you're able to look in the camera, but that you can also act it out. Now, today, when you're done with it, you're going to actually act it out. It's not just going to be merely reading it. So read it, but you're going to have a tone. You're going to laugh where you should laugh, speak where you want to speak. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. Let me share this screen, but I know you got it written out. I need to share it for other purposes. Is this the one? Let me make sure that I'm about to share the right one. Okay. All right. And then we're at the party. Okay. So what I'm going to do is uh, okay, we got that right. Everything is good. Okay, we're at the right page. Okay. So what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna just say you're next in line. And I'm gonna say Malik, I'm gonna introduce you real quick. We're gonna pretend like this is actually a thing. And then you're gonna go ahead and start acting it out. I'm gonna see how well prepared you are. If you have to look, then look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be able to see you actually as you are presenting. Let's see how this works. Okay. So tonight we have Malik Banks, who is going to recite the at the party. In this scenario, comedic monologue at the party, Tom gloats and brags to his wife about how he finally got even with someone at a family gathering. Oh, it's your turn. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
All right. I think I got it.
mhm.
Uh, right, here I go.
Okay, there you go.
Stop smiling. All right. I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. Oh, I'm still freezing. One more time, man. One more
Take
time.
as much time as you need to, because this is what we're gonna focus on.
Okay.
I'd like for you to at least have a conversation with Tammy, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And if you have to look down at a quick glimpse, then you can do that. You got it written, right?
Yeah.
You just gotta make sure that it's where you can look straight, that's all.
Okay. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody was so discreetly, no.
But, you were doing pretty good, and I like the tone there. So that's great.
Hold on, one more time.
We got time too. So I mean, I got time if you got time.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody was so discreetly pure bliss. It was a dream of mine. Let me tell you, for years I've been wanting to get that guy. Whenever we see him at gatherings, it was always the same thing. At some point during the party, I'll run into him and he'll pass a, oh no, I gotta do it again.
Yeah, let me help you out a little bit too.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do the act, okay?
Mhm.
And then you can follow along, because I noticed that I know I've been using my fingers a lot, and you probably are mimicking that, but really it's going to be more about what you're looking at and your smile, your tone, and those kind of things.
Okay.
So, and now if you have to move your hand, then you want to move your hand in the base of the action. So here we go. I'm going to play Tom for a minute. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody was so discreetly pure bliss. It was a dream of mine. Let me tell you, for years, I've been wanting to get that guy whenever he, excuse me, whenever we see him at gatherings. It was always the same. At some point during the party, I've run into him and he passed a comment, and it was always a nasty comment, but he'd do it with a smile. See how I did that a little bit? Did it with a smile. And in a high-minded way. Well, guess what? Tonight I got my revenge, and you saw his face drop right down to the floor. And I love watching him squirm like a worm he is, struggling to keep it together. I swore I noticed steam coming out from his collar. That was good. That's how good I got him. And the sweat bubbling out from his forehead. Ah, it was beautiful. You ready to mimic that?
Yep.
All right, go ahead. Gotcha.
All right. I think I got it.
Okay.
I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on. It felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody. Oh, no. Again. All right. I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on. It felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody and so discreetly was pure bliss. It was a dream of mine. Let me tell you, for years, I've been wanting to get that guy. Whenever we see him at gatherings, he will always, it was always the same thing. At some point during the party, I would run into him and he'd pass a comment. And it was always a nasty comment, but he would do it with a smile in a high-minded way. Well, tonight I got my revenge. And you saw his face drop right to the floor. One more time. One more time. One more time.
That was good though. It's starting to flow. Just remember that you in that last big paragraph, you're actually telling.
Okay. I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody was so discreetly. Oh no. I keep messing up.
That's fine. It flowed, so it didn't matter to me. I saw the mistake, but anytime that happens, it's improv. You just keep flowing with it.
All right, from the top, one more time.
There you go, from the top.
All right, all right. I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good just to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody and so discreetly was pure bliss. It was a dream of mine, let me tell you. For years, I've been wanting to get that guy. And whenever we see him at gatherings, it was always the same. At some point during the party, I'll run into him and he'd pass a comment. And it was always a nasty comment, but he'd do it in a high-minded way with a smile. Well, tonight I got my revenge. And you saw his face drop right to the floor. And I love watching him squirm like the worm he is, struggling to keep it together. I swore I noticed steam come from his collar. That's how good I got him. And the sweat bubbling out from his forehead, it was beautiful. I still messed up.
It sounded better every time when you say you mess up. I literally could hear how the tones are fluctuating and how you're focused in, like it's narrow in. And I like how you actually did that. It's like telling a story. So now when you're acting it out, what you want to do is you want to act it out as if you're just sitting there, like you're jumping into a conversation because you're so excited about it, like you're gloating to your wife or whatever about what you did to this guy, right?
Yeah.
So what you want to do, it's going to sound something like this, and then you're going to tell the story. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man, and to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody, and so discreetly, was pure bliss. It was a dream of mine, let me tell you. For years, I've been wanting to get that guy. Whenever we see him at gatherings, it was always the same. At some point during the party, I've run into him and he'd pass a comment. It was always a nasty comment, but he'd do it with a smile and in a high mighty way. Well, tonight, guess what? I got my revenge. And you saw his face drop right to the floor. I loved watching him squirm like a worm that he is and struggling to keep it together. I swore I noticed steam coming out of his collar. That's how good I got him. And the sweat bubbling out from his forehead, it was beautiful. See, now you're starting to put some action into it. It's like, okay, I got the attitude. I think I see what's going on now. Now I need to put some action into this. Like really, like things such as when we see him at gatherings, when we see him at gatherings, it was always the same. At some point during the party, I've run into him. And he'd pass a comment. It was always a nasty comment, but he'd do it with a smile and in a high mighty way. That's why you notice I did a smile and then look up like I'm high and mighty. Well, tonight, guess what? I got my revenge. And you saw his face drop right to the floor. And I love watching him squirm like the worm he is, struggling to keep it together. I swore I noticed steam coming out of his collar. That's how good I got him. And the sweat bubbling out from his forehead, it was beautiful. So now you actually have to act it, pretend there ain't nothing there. It was you speaking to your wife. And this is what you did. This is the revenge. This is your revenge story that you're going to gloat to your wife about. All right?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Ready.
Ready. All right.
Excuse me.
All right. I loved it. One more time. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? One more time.
Mhm.
I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody and so discreetly was pure bliss. It was a dream of mine, let me tell you. Now, for years, I've been wanting to get that guy. Whenever I see him at gatherings, it was always the same thing. At some point during the party, I'll run into him and he'll pass a comment. But it was always a nasty comment. And he'd do it with a smile in a high-minded way. Well, tonight, I got my revenge. And you saw his face drop right to the floor. And I love watching him squirm like the worm he is. Struggling to keep it together. And I swore I noticed steam coming from his collar. That's how good I caught him. And the sweat bubbling from his forehead, it was beautiful. I don't like that one either.
I can probably tell why you're thinking that. Because I was literally going to cut you, and then I was like, no, I kind of like the flow of the attitude, but I didn't like the flow of the action.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably what you were thinking. Maybe. I don't, because we got the flow of the words. We kind of know the words, but how would you look when you're gloating to your wife? Like, think about it, like, something here, like, well, tonight I got my revenge. And you saw, like you have to like improvise some of the words. Like, you saw his face drop right, right to the floor. And I loved watching it. That word loved came out again. Okay. And I loved watching him squirm like the worm he is, struggling to keep it together. Like, how would you, let's just break that piece up just for a minute. How would you say that when you're gloating to your wife? That one piece right there. Well, tonight I got my revenge, and you saw his face drop.
I would say like, I would still do this. Like when I point at myself, I would do that. Like, I'll be like, well, tonight I got my revenge. Like I will hold it like it's like something near and dear to me. That's why I go like this. Like I got
Yeah.
like I got
That part I could get. But then when you're talking like, and you saw his face drop to the floor, like, like how would you bring that up to your wife? Like, how would that look?
and then I'll probably like point like, and you saw his face, right? You saw his face drop right to the floor. So
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah. Like you need to be able to show your wife what you're talking about. Cause right now it just kind of looks like you're talking to her, like blah 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 blah. And she's like, so, but and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm literally this is gonna sound weird, okay? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend I am going to act like the wife in this scenario. You're gonna have the conversation with me with them, and then I'm gonna act in a way silently, okay? What she would be looking like if you were communicating this. It's the best way I could do it right now, unless I could get like somebody else on the call or something. Because that's what I was gonna do with one of the ladies that I had submitted to. All right, so yeah, let's try it again. And this time I'm actually gonna be real. I'm gonna just sit there and just be like this.
Okay, so you're gonna respond to everything I'm saying, right?
Pretty much not with words, just with body
Action.
language. Mm. Right now, I'm thinking, when are you gonna talk? What you so happy about?
Okay, hold on. Okay. So, okay.
You know me, I have to put an act on, so this is what you're gonna say. Okay, go ahead.
All right, all right. All right. All right, look. I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody, it was so discreetly pure bliss. It was a dream of mine. Let me tell you, for years I've been wanting to get that guy. Whenever I see him at gatherings, it was always the same. And at some point during the party, I'll run into him and he'd pat. No. One more time, one more time. All right. Again. All right.
That's all I could do. You know, pull my eyes or something to let you know that you're kind of boring me.
All right. All right. Got you.
Good. All right. Start again. So now I'm just planning the scene. Here I am.
Okay.
What you got to talk about today? What you so happy about?
All right. uh, I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody and so discreetly was pure bliss. It was a dream of mine. Let me tell you, for years, I've been wanting to get that guy. Whenever we see him at gatherings, it was always the same. At some point during the party, I'll run into him and he'd pass a comment. It was always a nasty comment, though. But he would do it with a smile in a high-minded way. Well, tonight I got my revenge on him. And you saw his face drop right to the floor. I messed up. I messed up. I froze.
Well, no, but you went well with it. That's why I started like cracking up and everything, because I'm actually acting it out. I'm acting without actually, because monologues are like soliloquies almost in this case. So you're saying a 90-second soliloquy here, and I'm just sitting there like
All right, let's do it again.
narration parts.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, let's do this again. You're getting better now. I think doing it this way really puts you out there. So that's how I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna stop doing that and see what you sound like. Okay, so here I am. I'm entering the scene.
Okay.
What you got to talk about tonight? What you so happy about?
I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody and so discreetly was pure bliss. It was a dream of mine, let me tell you. For years, I've been wanting to get that guy. Whenever I see him at gatherings, it was always the same thing. At some point during the party, I'm messing up. One more time, one more time, one more time.
Okay. What you got to gloat to me about now?
All right. Let me see.
Blah, 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 blah. Tell me something different.
Okay. All right. I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody and so discreetly was pure bliss. It was a dream of mine, let me tell you. For years, I've been wanting to get that guy. Whenever we see him at gatherings, it was always the same. At some point during the party, I would run into him and he'd pass a comment. And it was always a nasty comment, but he'll do it with a smile in a high-minded way. Well, tonight, I got my revenge. And you saw his face drop right to the floor. And I love watching him squirm. Oh, that part is hard.
Yeah, because if you're actually, see, if this was actually the movie, I would be sitting there like, oh, God, oh, I saw that, whatever. But you're sitting there still trying to hold the conversation on. See, I'm pretty much just nothing but a distraction, even though you're meaning what you're saying. Like you're saying it, and I'm just going with the flow because you're sitting there like talking about how his face dropped to the floor, whatever. I was like, oh my God, yes. Yes. Like, yeah, that's gonna be the hard part. That's why I figured I would do the act without actually talking, without improvising, without I'm just improvising my action.
Yeah.
That way then you can get used to it because that's gonna be the difficult part of the acting process is if you're trying to say something a little bit more serious, but I'm standing there like, yeah, so like, what you gonna gloat about tonight? In the beginning, it was like, in the beginning, you should have been like all happy, zealous, and like practically laughing. And I would have been looking at you like, what? You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to figure out like how I want to put this. I'm just putting this in my own improvisation. I'm looking at it as like, I don't really care, I don't understand what's going on. And then it's like it was a dream of mine, let me tell you. So then you finally get in the conversation, and I'm like, all right, yeah, let's try that again. We gotta get you to not laugh where you're not supposed to laugh. Even though I thought it was horrifically funny. All right. What do you got to gloat on me tonight?
Okay.
All righty then. Go ahead. Tell me your story.
All right. All right. Let me see. All right.
So I hear you got even with somebody. What's up with that?
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
All right, I'm ready. All right, go ahead, tell me.
All right. All right. I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody. Oh, ah. One more time, man. One more time. I
Yeah, you
gotta.
gotta get careful because where you should be doing a little bit more laughing because you're so like excited about this story. It's
Yeah.
to turn into like where at toward the end of it, I start to laugh. But I'm like, you know what I mean? But you have to kind of like show it like, no, like literally, you saw them, you know, he dropped the floor type of scenario. So what you all happy about tonight? That's what my question would be. Then what?
All right. Then I'll be like, I loved it. I loved it. Okay. I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on. It felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? No, I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody and so discreetly was pure bliss. It was a dream of mine. Let me tell you, for years, I've been wanting to get that guy. And whenever I see him at gatherings, it was always the same thing. At some point during the party, I'll run into him and he'd pass a comment. And it was always a nasty comment. But he'd do it with a smile in a high-minded way. Well, tonight I got my revenge. And you saw his face. You saw his face drop right to the floor. And I love watching him squirm like the worm he is, struggling to keep it together. And I swore I noticed steam coming from his collar. That's how good I got him. And the sweat bubbling from his forehead, it was beautiful. How was that?
That one worked a lot better. And that's because I was actually able to flow my action with how you're actually speaking. Have you noticed how I start cracking up and all that when you're sitting there being serious? Like, man, didn't you see him drop to the floor? I was like,
Yeah.
right. Because that's what I'd be thinking. Like, yeah, man, man, you finally got that guy. Finally, that's what I would have been like. All right, now I'm not going to do anything. All right, just pretend that your wife is there and you're talking to her. What is it looking like?
Okay. Okay.
And I like when you said understand and you put your hand up here by like the brain, up on the head. That was awesome. That's given some interaction with what you're saying. So that is very cool that you did that.
All right. All right. I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Come on, it felt good, didn't it? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney right in front of everybody and so discreetly was pure bliss. It was a dream of mine. Let me tell you. Now, for years, I've been wanting to get that guy. And whenever we see him at gatherings, it was always the same. At some point during the party, He would pass a comment and it was always a nasty comment, but he would do it with a smile in a high-minded way. Well, tonight I got my revenge. And you saw his face. You saw his face drop right to the floor. And I loved watching him squirm like the worm he is, struggling to keep it together. I swore I noticed steam coming from his collar. That's how good I got him. And the sweat bubbling from his forehead, it was beautiful.
There you go. Now you're starting to show some tension in this in this comedy monologue here that we have. Did you have any questions pertaining to the reading of the monologue?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. How did you enjoy the training relevant to the monologue? Like, are you feeling much more confident?
Yeah, like the more I do it, the more confident I get.
Mm-hmm. So what you want to do, and I think this is something that you can maybe practice. I'm not saying that you have to do this every time you get a monologue, but like maybe speak to your girlfriend, assuming that like she could pretend to be your wife, right?
Right.
What kind of interaction would she get if you're gloating to her? Like, love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. Like all this love, like, come on, didn't it feel good? Didn't it feel good to rub it in Jack's big nose? I'm pretty sure that if she was to act it out, it would be something like, really, I gotta sit there and listen to this. And you're still gloating. I cannot stand that man. And to call him out on his baloney, and then she'd be just sitting there like, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it's like, it was a dream of mine. Well, now that dream starts changing things because it switches the mentality. And then you're saying, let me tell you, right? Now you're telling the story. You're telling what actually happened. So you spent 2 lines to get to that point. Basically, that's what that is, right? But
Right.
that's what you would do, like you were showing it off. If you were bragging to someone about something, it's like it's all the good stuff in the beginning, and then it's like, yeah, but let me just tell you, like, okay, this is how it went down. And the one thing that you want to remember is those pause sequences. Dot, dot, dot. All right. So when we are reading this, we have a comma, like, for years. I've been wanting to get that guy, period. Whenever we see him at gatherings, it was always the same. At some point during the party, I've run into him and he passed a comment, and it was always a nasty comment, but he'd do it with a smile and a high-minded way. Well, tonight I got my revenge. And you saw his face dropped right to the floor, and I loved watching him squirm like the worm he is, struggling to keep it together. I swore I noticed steam coming out of his collar. That's how good I got him, period. All right. And the sweat, excuse me, and the sweat bubbling out from his forehead. It was beautiful. So what this would actually start sounding like after that dot, dot, dot in a high-minded way, it's like a immediate stop. It's like, for years, I wanting to get that guy, period, right? We know that's the end of the sentence. Then whenever we've seen him at gatherings, it was always the same. at some point during the party, I've run into him and he passed a comment, and it was always a nasty comment, but he'd do it with a smile and a high-minded way. Well, tonight I got my revenge, and you saw his face dropped right to the floor, and I loved watching him squirm like the one he is, struggling to keep it together. I swore I know coming out from his collar. That's how good I got him. And the sweat going out from his forehead, it was beautiful. So that's where you start doing all that gloating and everything. But you noticing the pauses in there as you're reading it?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's what you want to be able to focus on. But man, oh man, you're becoming an actor day by day. This is actually very, very good work that you have done in preparation. We're gonna get back to this, but we're gonna talk about other things in the meantime. So the individual that was supposed to be with us tonight to introduce the project, part of the scenario is that they were looking for experienced actors, and then I asked about inexperience and then age. So let me explain what is happening. So Saturday in Jacksonville, Florida, there were going to be live auditions at 1 p.m. for a casting for Decision Cast. And what I did is I decided, well, I was going to give part of my roster maybe to freelance and or whatnot. That was part of our conversation. And we were going to have you do an online actual audition, which is the purpose of the Friday thing. And what would happen is that I would be submitting it to her, but there are different roles, 16 to 18, and then 35 to 60. And then I ended up saying, we're looking for ages 16 to 60. Because I wanted to keep it very simple and straightforward. And then she could choose like who she would want for what role, or just movie extras or whatever in that case. Well, what she was going to introduce was the actual casting call that she's doing. And there was a little bit of confusion because for professional actors, of which I could find, there are certain requirements. But for those of you that are in training, I mentioned how good you were training and that, and how well improved you're getting. So I thought that by me providing an audition with you and many others from our roster, at the least she'll get to see like who is on the roster and who's doing what, and she can make that choice. That's the process of how clients work anyway with agencies. Um, and then if you ended up being chosen for a role, then this is where the next piece comes in. So it would be in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, because it is a new production and you are a new beginner, there is well, you're a beginning actor, put it that way. There are clauses that we have that talk about travel that they don't necessarily when doing the client agreement, so they're not necessarily responsible for it. to a specific level. So in short, these new gigs that are coming up that we are getting for new faces and or experienced actors and models, there are different requirements from the agency itself to the client. And in your case, if you wanted to take the position or the role at the time, some of the things that are required is that you'd have to be available like on a Saturday, which you are anyway. And I believe it's a Monday. Now I'm waiting to find out more information in regards to any other scheduling. But it's basically going to be a Saturday through Sunday ordeal. And there are different seasons and episodes. And right now she's working on the first one, and she's trying to get actors different roles within that episode. So if it is something that you would be interested in, that is great. It is still something that you could think about as well. There's no hard feelings either way, but I just wanted to let you know that we are getting this. We are starting to get some casting roles for new faces. They don't normally come all together. You know what I mean? Like like regulars where they are going there and they're saying, I want this one, this one, this one. This is a little bit more of like I'm gonna be basically freelancing you there because because certain clients don't want to take certain levels of responsibility on an actor that they're not sure about if they're going to fulfill their requirements. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So if you do go, you'd have to show yourself very highly supportive professional, be on time, know that how you're going to get there or what have you. And then there's something about, I'm going to add this tad bit. She said to have negative COVID test charts. If you actually had the next step after that, where you had vaccine, then what you can do before attending, if she chooses you for a role, then you can take the negative COVID test before going, but also show proof that you have gotten your vaccination, as if you already did them.
Okay, so get the COVID vaccine test?
Well, you can, she wants a series of COVID negative test results. But if you are one of those where you actually got the vaccine, then you can show the proof of the vaccine.
So you can either get tested to see if you have it or get the vaccine? Because I'd rather get tested and come out negative, vice versa, me getting the vaccine. Because I've seen that the vaccine was like affecting people differently. And some people were like dying from the vaccine.
Yeah, I know. It does affect different people and things aren't necessarily up to par. So until more people get it. So yeah, if you're able to get a series of negative results, then that would be great. Then you could do that because that's what she was doing. I was just adding that vaccine piece to it because some people where it didn't affect them that much, they actually got the vaccine and all it did was make their arms sore.
Okay.
But then the other question would actually be, and again, this contract, if one does develop between you and her or whatnot, this is going to be one of those where it's more of a freelance, meaning like we helped you get the job, but it's not going to be tied to, like, in other words, they're going to become a potential client, but I'm thinking that they want to be just as careful with us as we want to be with them. You know what I'm saying? And that will happen. That will happen because I've had issues on the other way around where clients were, it was a- an issue that required me to red flag them and then to send an audit. But in this case, we were both fair in how we were going to do it, at least on the terms of SLMTA, bringing in some auditions. Then anything after that, then, you know, then she'll let us know from whatever results she has. So I figured I'd let you know on the live with everyone else viewing as well, because it is a big opportunity for auditions. And there's gonna probably be a few people that will attend straight in straight in Jacksonville, Florida. But that would be the thought process you would have to give, is if you would be able to travel there during that time. Well, the first step is just kind of getting you out there so that she can see who you are and what you're capable of doing. Um, were you able to follow me? I'm not sure because something flashed on my.
No, I follow.
Okay. Did you have any questions about that particular gig? It is with, by the way, if you want to research some stuff or whatnot, it's you entertainment.
Can you say that again?
Oh yeah, birds, like plural birds that fly in the air. View, but it's all one word, like view, like as if you're viewing someone. Entertainment,
Yeah.
LL. Okay. And then what you can do is after the audition, if it's something, you can start to prioritize how you would go about doing that. Okay.
Okay. Well, if I do a good audition and she would like me to come out there, I'm able to come. I can get a plane ticket and a room for the time being of the audition. And if I am selected, I can get the COVID test and everything too beforehand.
Yeah.
So
I think what we're trying to do is, because the auditions down there are actually on this Saturday at 1 p.m.
mm,
You want to do a live audition and do the cold weed with her, or would you want to do the um or would you want to do this way, where you did it one line and then I submit it to her? Because
honestly,
if you're chosen, then either way, then we would have to prepare you, because um at least she was being honest up front. So I do want to give you this. So will there be pay for it? I believe that there will be pay for it. She doesn't do that kind of stuff. But what's going to happen is that there's not going to be enough money in the budget to pay for travels and hotels and stuff like that in the budget that they have. So she was actually already kind of giving me a very, very huge clue on that. And so I just wanted you to know that. And I think we can work something out depending on what the difference is between the cost of the hotel and you traveling and them actually paying you. But that would be between her and I. If and this goes for anyone that is signed with SLMTA. I'm speaking with Malik directly. But if you are interested in this opportunity, they are holding the auditions, and I'm also doing live open auditions all this week. And what we want to try to do is, as far as MTA is concerned, figure out what the end game is going to be if you are chosen. Now, that's what we are doing because I want to try to save them. That it's low budget at the same time. It's a very good project, and you would be well deserved with the individual. But again, I don't want to create hints like, oh, you're gonna be working with her, but that at least your face will be shown to her. And then, if not this time, there's going to be many more episodes after that. So she does cast periodically. The other thing, I don't know if that was you or if it was, maybe it was you. Did you say that you write scripts, but you didn't know who would actually take them and look at them?
No, I've never written a script before.
Oh, okay, then that's probably one of my other actors, because I've actually did some research and found out that Bird's View does look at scripts, not to say that they would be accepted or whatnot, but that they would look at them or whatnot. So that's something else that I found out that they do, and that they can create movies and things around that script, after tweaks and things like that. So I thought it was awesome, but I'd rather you hear more from her when it comes to what Bird's View Entertainment is as a whole, rather than me trying to give the whole.
No, I got you.
Because I don't know the whole scenario, but I do know that she does definitely want to work with SLMTA in the near future. It's just that right now she is focused on this emergency that's happening, that she needs a casting for. So, and that's what we need to really focus on. So I'm trying every best way I can for her. She seems to be a very nice woman. One of our other models and talent, Dylan, he's actually in the cast. So he's been with her for some time, and there has never been any negative results from the company. So I have entrusted that, and I've done a little bit of following and research before I basically say, okay, SLMTA is really excited about a casting call, but we are now. We know what we are dealing with, and I'm excited like for her and the mission and the vision of the decision cast. So while I'm excited, we have to do the work and see what we can do to maybe get you a role, or maybe you might have to wait for the next one or something like that, but at least we'll know what's happening once we submit the audition.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that. Also, you will be in you're gonna actually be part of the fashion show that will be in Atlanta Fashion Week, that is developed by Brandon Moody and myself. And we're actually going to be getting some sponsors to just go ahead and to help shine the light on that. That's going to be, I think, the second week of September. There isn't any real actual fashion week in Atlanta from what I've researched and what he had researched. He's from the Atlanta area. And to be able to say that you can participate in that was like an awesome ordeal. So this is a good chance. It will be pro bono, but free pictures on your portfolio. It's also going to give you free exposure and all that. What we may end up doing though is we're gonna be doing, well, SLMTA is gonna be doing a usage agreement to where you can earn royalties for everything, because we're actually gonna be creating everything into the Moda Fashion catalog. And evidently you will be in there. And we want to actually get a hair and makeup stylist for you, because some of it, we would like the braids, but some of it we want to also see some photos of you without them. So that they'll be able to recreate like your different looks and stuff like that. They're hired for that, so they know what they're doing
Okay.
in that way, where I, that's all that I know. What else do I want to bring to your attention? Yes, I have to bring this to your attention because I know you've been asking about this over and over periodically, and we finally got a plan.
Can I use the bathroom real quick?
Um, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, sure.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
1 second.
Okay. I don't know if she ever. Oh, while we are waiting for him to return, I'm actually going to do a quick announcement. If there is anyone interested in the acting opportunity that was just explained about 5 minutes ago, please message me at slmtagency@gmail.com, and we will get you set up on the schedule for you to attend one of our online Zoom open auditions. We want to be sure you're going to have to email us so that we can go ahead, send you the link to where it's happening. We will not be projecting our auditions live on Facebook, YouTube, and all that, because we do not have rights to that. You guys would have to sign photo releases and things like that for that to happen. So because of that, you won't be acting out except for only in Zoom. However, excuse me, um, if the roles do get to you, we will then let you know who got the role necessary for this opportunity. And then that's when we would speak to you about signing with the agency. Okay, especially if it's freelancers out there that may be hearing this. Okay, sorry about that. I was giving a little bit of an announcement for anyone. Um, and so what we're gonna do, we're gonna look at your bio for a couple of moments, and it actually looks great. I read it while you were in the bathroom waiting. And then we're gonna do a quick cold read so that you understand that. But I'm also gonna give you 7 steps to the process of how to be prepared for cold reads. Then tonight I'm gonna email you this PDF of the cold read that we're doing. Okay. Um, but first I wanted to let you know some of the news about photo shoots and training and will I have the mentorship? Is there money involved? How much? Blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not going to give how much over the air, and I'm going to text you the real reason behind it. But it's because of I need to make sure that other things are in line and that they're not being in line just because of the cost of what my package is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now we as do you already know that we are a member agency to MAAI, the modeling?
You spoke a little bit on it the last meeting.
Okay. This week I'm going to speak a little bit more to you about it. Because you are a new face, right? You have no experience in the acting or the modeling world. What we have decided to do, and this isn't just, we also have many other people that are signing up for this. What we have decided to do is instead of saying you can sign up for this and then you can sign up for that and then do this and do that, what we have decided to do is do a full year. Did someone come in? Did you hear something echoing?
No, but you kind of went out. Like what you said was drowned it out.
Oh, okay. It must have this. Okay, so I'll repeat that one little bit. So what we're doing is we want you to enjoy your work schedule, because obviously your work schedule is how you're making your money to pay your bills, right?
Right.
And then as you're getting bookings, your bookings will help amplify the money that you would be making it when you're going to work. Now, at some point, you would probably want to have a job that could work with your entertainment schedule. Meaning, like, if you were working like at a restaurant or something like that, and you were making some good tip. So right now, I don't know if they're as flexible as, what, excuse me, what some restaurants would be, but just so that you know, because you never know, you might have a busy schedule for 2 months, and then from there you might be down to like where you are right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You wanna make sure that you're able to have that flexibility. But the main reason why I'm bringing this up about MAAI is because they are a training resource where you go to New York once a year, usually in July. This year, they're not having it. So it gives me a little bit of time to set up my program. And what I've decided to do was move everything up a year. So this June, we were going to be having the Miami photo shoot, as you know. What we have decided to do is that June, if we gotten our percentages that are necessary for your down payment to the actual package, then you don't need to worry about paying other things separately, because everything's going to be lumped into one big final package for all
Yeah.
photo shoots, your travel, and everything for the year. All you'd have to do is just make sure that after the 30% is down, you're paying your equal 10 monthly payments on that. It's not bad, but it's, we have to work with you if things come up. That's fine, but the reason that we want to do it, we want to do it from July this year through June next year, where you get all your training and everything, and the mentorship will be happening with not just me, it's going to be happening with actual acting professionals who actually know about the industry. Your Miami photo shoot will already be included in the package, so you don't have to worry about additional funding and all that. So when it comes to those details, I figured it would be easier that way, and then you can pick your own training times because of it will fit with your schedule. It'd be like a student in school just needing to fit the schedule around their work schedule. You know what I mean? So you'll be able to choose those times, and those mentors will work during those time periods. And what else is happening with that? And so what will happen is when you are done the full year of training, which is 6 months of audition readiness and 6 months of performance readiness, your last major gig is going to MAAI at the end of the year, which is set in July. It will start in 2022, which is why we're basically saying we'll start you July this year through next year in June, because you will already be prepared for the convention. And you have already paid your dues and everything else. So at that point, you go to a convention, you've already paid the package. We will pay for you to travel to go up there. It will include your hotels and things like that. And then when you're done, then you come back and we will actually hold a graduation to finally get you to be a certified SLMTA actor, model, what have you, whatever it is that you have chosen to actually study and what your focus is going to be on. Okay.
Okay.
Now, how does that sound? That was the best option. Our board basically set this up for the new faces because we thought that it would be the best option to literally get folks comfortable with us. To get the training processing going and all that. And by the way, before June, we will be knowing the list of some of the mentor. So that if it's someone that you know, like a professional that you would be like, oh, yes, I definitely want to be sure that I'm part of that. And no money has to be given to us until June because it would be just the down payment of the actual package. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I follow.
The only thing that would be in addition to that package is if you were doing optionals at MAAI. Optionals means that, let's say, because I think they have six permanently productive showcases within it, competitions or whatnot, already set into the package. But there's optionals. They have like different things such as like singing or whatever it may be. And if you choose those, then we would have to add that to the package. But the package has already got everything all inclusive for your training. So you don't have to like worry about it, and it'd be paid within 130% down payment due in June. And then it's gonna be equal payments, 10 equal payments after that. That's how that plan would work. The other thing that I want to mention to you real quick too is because you are signed with SLMTA, we we want to help you try to get that EIDL because if you are because you are still an actor, you're an actor in training. You know what I mean? And so if you hadn't made any money or you have created any type of losses in the process, then you can actually get an EIDL grant. So it's something for you to think about. The only thing you need to figure out is if you're in a location in the Grand Rapids area that is low income. But I believe that because you're out of Wyoming, right?
Right.
Now, my business is out of Wyoming, even though I call it Grand Rapids, and it is a low income area. They got us in for the grant for the package 2, but for the package 3, we were literally going to just fall right into it. So you want to apply with your social security number, and we have to get the information from you as far as independent contractor. Well, the information that you would have if they need it is your actual contract proving that you are an actor in training that with SLMTA. I mean, it's all legal and real, but it would actually help you, in the long run. And I think they have 30 days that they have to pay you by once you're done proving things and all that.
No, I'll sign up for it.
Yeah. And we may have to help you in some areas because if you hadn't done your 1099 yet when you were with us, then we're gonna have to send in information letting you know that you didn't make money, which is a whole nother process, but it would still get you where you need to go. The idea is that you're applying, that you fit the other criterias, and if all that works out well, then all this other stuff we can work together when that happens. So that's why I have my tax guy. I'm happy for that. Okay. Did you have any questions pertaining to what I was telling you about the training? And yes, you actually get to graduate as a certified SLMTA. When I say certified SLMTA talent or model, I don't mean that you went for a year to be certified, but that you are certified as a pro model, that you're taking the next step. You know, it's not saying that you don't have to stop training, but it's going to get you all the training that you basically needed. Everything besides what you're doing now. Like I'm giving you introductions and all that. And yes, you are allowed to accept roles still. So if you're getting bookings, then take the bookings if you could afford to get there or whatnot. You know what I mean? Or less they're local. Right now, we're looking at local ones in the Detroit area as well as Chicago. So if it's something that's more drivable, and then you can go to them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're at with that. So do not worry about the Miami photo shoot. However, at the same time, when it's due, when that payment would be due for you, you would already be able to go to the Miami photo shoot. So you don't have to worry about, oh, wow, I got to do that and then come up with this. No, it's all going to be all inclusive. It's already done in that way. So that's what we're doing. And a lot of people liked it that way. It was a lot easier. And they could set up their own schedules for training. All right, now we're going to move it along. If you have no other questions pertaining to that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to look at this. And then we're going to look at 7 steps to acing a cold read. And then we're going to actually practice that cold read. Now, if you're going to need time, I don't want you to play around with photos right now. Between now and Friday, just don't even worry about photos right now. My goal is to actually get you to be introduced to Tammy, because I think that you would really be a great fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this cold read that you're going to practice. So I'm going to tell you what role you'll play in the cold read. And then we're going to act it out a little bit tonight. And then that will be it. That will be our final thing for tonight. So I'm sorry if I'm keeping you a little bit longer. It's just a lot of stuff that we planned for tonight. And I didn't want you to be tricked up on everything, because I know that you were asking a little bit ago about the Miami photo shoot, and so were other people too. But I told them that we found an easier solution so that you don't have to worry about coming up with all kinds of money for 50 different things.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. I'm trying. I really am. All right. So let's read your bio. And I'm loving it. Let's see here. So my name is Malik Banks, and for the last year or so, I've been working on pursuing a career in modeling and acting, period. Good. High fashion and acting has always been something I've been highly interested in. Now, ending on a particle is not great, but first let's talk about this. High fashion, that is like saying that you're interested in haute couture.
What is that?
That is like professional, like how tall are you?
6'3".
Oh, you're 6'3". Oh, okay. Well, then the only other thing would actually be we need to figure out your
So should I just say fashion?
your actual branding, yeah. Because what is your age? Your age is
23.
23. Okay, so you're a couple of years older on the teen level, but you're just under on the most adult level. So that might work. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that you were writing the right information for your biography. That's all. I didn't want you to be 5'6" and saying that you want to go for haute couture, which is professional modeling. And when I say professional, then that means that you have to do some changes with yourself, just FYI as well.
Okay.
And I know people where that training that will start during that time would be able to help you with that, because that fits their category.
When I say high fashion, I just mean like name brand clothing, basically.
Okay, so what you want to do is, are you saying like streetwear, like Adidas and that kind of thing?
Really anything. A little bit of everything.
Okay, I would change the verbiage then. What I would do is say, like, you can give example. So let's finish this real quick and I'll tell you what I mean. Because it doesn't look bad at all, but there are some things that you might be able to just cut out. And don't forget, SL Models and Talent Agency LLC should be, or SL Models and Talent Agency should be spelled out. And then parenthesize SLMTA, so that when you use it again, you don't have to spell it out completely. You don't technically have to spell out my name, but that's not a big deal. So there are some things that I will do. You know what? Let me just tweak this for you, because you got enough here that I could literally tweak it for you. And then we would read it next Tuesday to see if it actually, if you like what I tweaked. How's
Okay.
it? All right. And go from there. Okay. So let's go ahead. Well, we're gonna pass on that because
I gotta grab the charger. Let's see.
All right. Yeah, we're almost done. I think we got like 30 minutes, if that.
No, it's okay. I just gotta grab a charger. Still right here.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you're back up and running, and then I'll
I'm ready.
all right. Okay. We're gonna try to go through this piece as quickly as we can, but I don't want to go too fast because doing cold reads are a little bit different from what we were doing with the monologue. Number one, you want to prepare, definitely. There is a common misconception that it is impossible to prepare for a cold read audition, and that is simply false. Although you may not receive the actual audition material until right before, there are quite a few wonderful ways you can prepare. Going into an audition, you should know what you're auditioning for, and therefore have the opportunity to research the show or film and become familiar with not only the characters, but the time period, the story, the theme, and so on. All right. Is there somebody communicating in the background?
Y'all yelling too close to my car.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no. You're fine. I wasn't sure what was happening. But You want to be punctual. I'm going to tell you this much too. If there is going to be our online segment and she still wants to meet you as a whole,
Yeah.
you would still probably have to prepare for a cold read. A cold read is usually something that it's almost like improv, except it's a part of a piece of something that they would give you. And I'm going to show you an example tonight, what I mean, except that you're reading it, you're acting it out cold. Okay. So you want to be punctual. Remember that early, on time is late. You want to be early. Be adaptable. Learn to adapt. If a piece is serious, take it seriously. Then for a funny piece, go wild. While many actors and actresses may have a forte, it is important not to get stuck or typecast. Know your purpose. If you come to an audition and have no idea while you are auditioning, the casting directors can probably tell. All right. Going back to preparation, other than knowing the material, you should know your connection to the play or film and why you want to do it. All right. Take risks. Whether you're auditioning for a local play, short film, or to be the next big Star Wars star, you have already taken a huge risk. Congratulations. Now commit and take even more risks in your actual audition. Don't be afraid to change your voice, make movements, dance around, and stand out. Okay? Look up. You have to look up. When doing a cold read, it is very tempting to look down and at the paper the whole entire time. Look up. The people running the audition know that you had a limited time with a piece of work and are aware that it won't be perfect. Don't worry about getting the lines word for word and pay more attention to the performance and what you feel. Okay. And of course, seventh thing, be yourself. At the end of the day, it's important to be yourself always. Some of the best auditions I have witnessed are when a person comes in with the biggest smile and isn't afraid to be themselves. Then they audition with the most serious piece of work and become another person. All right. Now, this is what a cold read looks like. Well, that's when my laptop doesn't seem funny about it. In this case, there is a principal gentleman number one. And then the scene is in the gym at the East High. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're reading the narration to yourself when it comes to that. So if you and I was to practice this, okay, I would be the principal. We're just going to do it simple because I know you got to look at in the small screen. This is where you want to make sure that you probably can get this printed out by. All right. Because you're not going to be able to do a cold read on a cell phone, I don't think. The object of the cold read is that it's like you're looking at me, but you're able to read it. Okay, so you're looking at the audience, so you're reading it, but it also is for you to project the character within it. So what will happen is I would be principal gentleman, and then you're going to end up being Miss Jen. I'm sorry about that. So you're Miss Jen and I'm Principal Gelman, okay?
Okay.
And it basically starts off, the scene is it's at the gym at East High. The principal gentleman addresses the student body at a microphone. Okay, well, you don't have to technically do this. I have this. So I have my microphone and I'm about to address. And I am also pleased to announce that this year we have converted the old home ec room into what's known as a safe space, excuse me. And now for a special introduction, this year East High has a new drama teacher with the announcement that she swore in writing will not be too expensive. Go ahead, be brief. Now, we're just introducing this right now. We will go through it again right before we leave, all right? So then that was gentleman number 2. Now, Miss Jen's office is tied day 1. Principal gentleman, what is going on in here? Now it's your turn.
Oh, hello, Principal Glenman. What's his name? Gelman?
Gentleman.
Gelman?
Gentleman, that's how I say it.
Gelman? Okay. Oh, hello, Principal Gelman. I was just replying. Oh, I would just read. Okay. Oh, hello, Principal Gelman. I was just relaying some thoughts to my devoted assistant.
Why are you still in the building?
I just dropped by to gather some study material and my vitamins.
Miss Jen, please, don't force me to call campus security. You've got 10 minutes. I'm timing it. I'll ask one more time. Had you been to this establishment prior to last Friday?
So you knew they served alcohol breath? Oh no. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was mine. Yes, sir. On door as Nini, right?
Oh, no. That's your, you don't want to read. You want to read that? But
Oh,
you're looking at something.
so
So
just say, yes,
just
sir.
narrative. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then the narrative would be on door as Nini and Courtney enter, grab an empty seat, say no, Vikram's the only other family member present. So that would be like extras or whatnot that are coming in there. You might look a little distorted, like looking away, like, yes, sir.
And look at him.
Yeah, like you're taking a glimpse, like somebody's coming in the door or whatever.
Okay.
And then I would say, okay. And that's when I'm looking. Because that's my narration, actually. So I'm looking. So you knew they served alcoholic beverages.
Yes, but they also do a very nice trout teriyaki.
Did you offer to purchase alcohol beverages for your students?
No, sir.
But you purchased a cocktail or 2 for yourself.
Actually, I was treated by an old friend. Actually, I was treated by an old friend.
And you chose to send these students home in your car because you were too intoxicated to drive?
I wouldn't say intoxicated. I'm a lightweight. Principal Glenman, well, Principal Gilman, I get tipsy from the wrong mouth.
From the
That's kind
wrong.
of funny. That's kind of funny. Let me re-say. I wouldn't say intoxicated. I'm a lightweight. Principal Gentleman, I get tipsy from the wrong mouthwash.
Mm. Just answer the question.
I was not intoxicated. I just wanted them to get home safely. I thought I was being maternal.
Miss Jen, where did you attend college?
What does that have to do with? Do I say that?
No, that's your attitude. Like Miss Jen is blindsided. What
Also, like,
where so you're kind of giving that look like
she's offended.
yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Where did you go to college? What is that?
I don't see the next line.
Oh yeah, you don't actually speak anymore. I did. So that was the end. Okay. That's an introduction of what the cold read is. Let me just make sure that I'm saying the name correctly, though. I want to make sure because this is the one we're going to use. You know me, I always have to. About 53 minutes to explain how to announce Gelman.
Gelman or Gelman?
That's what I'm looking at right now. There's that's what it is.
I couldn't hear it.
Oh, you couldn't hear it? See, I can't wait till I get my
So how do they say it?
one says Gelman, the other one says Gelman.
Gelman or Gelman? Gelman? Gelman kind of sounds right.
Huh?
I said Gelman kind of sounds right.
Yeah. So that is where we are. That's where we are at. Okay, here we go. This is the phonic spelling. G-E-H-I-M-U-H-N. Or is it L? L. I'm sorry. L. I said I. That would have really looked funny. So as a first name, it would be more like Gelman. Yeah. All right. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and let's start. I didn't need the microphone for the whole thing. It was just that one section. So what we're gonna do is we are going to act this script out. All right. The cold read. And it really doesn't matter. I don't think it really, what you need to make sure of is that the name doesn't show up when you're speaking. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, what do you mean? The
Um,
name of the show.
like here in the when it talks about the narrations are the things that are not attached to the actual statements,
Mhm.
what you're saying. So when it says Miss Jen, that's where you'll speak.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now starting in the gym, that's where we're starting at, in the gym. And I am also pleased to announce that this year we have converted the old home ec room into what's known as a safe space. And now for a special introduction, this year East High has a new drama teacher with an announcement that she swore in writing will not be too expensive. Go ahead, be brave. Be brief, excuse me. Okay, now, what is going on in here?
Oh, hello, Principal Gelman. I was just relaying. Oh, hello, Principal Gelman. Is it Gelman or Gelman? Are we saying Gelman?
Yeah.
Gilman? Okay. Oh, hello, Principal Gilman. I was just relaying some thoughts to my devoted assistant.
Why are you still in the building?
I just dropped by to gather some study materials and my vitamins.
Miss Jen, please, don't force me to call the campus security. You've got 10 minutes and I'm timing it. I'll ask one more time. Had you been to this establishment prior to last Friday?
Yes, sir. I said yes, sir, or I said yes with a pause, then sir.
Yeah, because you're kind of,
So you were like, yes.
because
sir.
I'm grilling it. Yeah. So my thing is Principal Gelman grills Miss Jen at her school board hearing. Okay. So I'm basically grilling you at this point. I'll ask one more time. Had you been to this establishment prior to last Friday?
Yes, sir.
So you knew they served alcoholic beverages.
Yes. But they also do a very nice trout teriyaki.
Did you offer to purchase alcoholic beverages for your students?
No, sir.
But you purchased a cocktail or two for yourself.
Actually, I was treated by an old friend.
And you chose to send these students home in your car because you were too intoxicated to drive?
I wouldn't say intoxicated. I'm a lightweight, Principal Gilman. I get tipsy for the wrong mouthwash.
Just answer the question.
I was not intoxicated. I just wanted them to get home safely. I thought I was being maternal.
Miss Jen, where did you attend college?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Where did you go to college? What is that? Who's humming? Am I having a stroke? All right.
Yeah, he was really grilling her. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And I'm probably, when we act this out for Friday's audition, I'm not going to say that last part because it literally changed the whole entire scene.
Okay.
Now, I don't know who put this as a cold read because even that beginning part was totally weird.
Yeah, it was like you could tell it was two different scenes, basically.
Yeah, like
It's like they went from the gym to the office or something.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna have us do this one more time, but I'm gonna play Miss Jen and you're gonna do the principal. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Here we go.
And and I am also pleased to announce that this year we have converted the old home ec room into what's known as a safe space. And now for a special introduction, this year, East High has a new drama teacher with an announcement that she swore in writing will not be too expensive. Go ahead, be brief. Okay. What is going on in here?
Oh, hello, Principal Gelman. I was just relaying some thoughts to my devoted assistant.
Why are you still in the building?
I just dropped by to gather some study materials and my vitamin.
Miss Jen, please don't force me to call campus security. You've got 10 minutes. I'm timing. I'm timing it. I'll ask one more time. Had you been to this establishment prior to last Friday?
Yes, sir.
So you knew they serve alcoholic beverages.
Yes, but they also do a very nice chopped teriyaki.
Did you offer to purchase alcoholic beverages? Oh, did you offer to purchase alcohol? Why is that rolling off like that? Did you offer to purchase alcoholic beverages for your students?
No, sir.
But you purchased a cocktail or two for yourself?
Actually, I was treated by an old friend.
And you chose to send these students home in your car because you were too intoxicated to drive.
I wouldn't say intoxicated. I'm a lightweight Principal Gelman. I get tipsy from the wrong mouthwash.
Just answer the question.
I was not intoxicated. I just wanted them to get home safely, and I thought I was being maternal.
Miss Jen, where did you attend college?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Where did you go to college?
That's great. That's great. How do you like this cold
It's
read?
kind of funny. You want to do it again? As I'm
Which role do you want to play?
Mr. Gelman again, one more time.
All right, yeah, let's do Mr. Gelman one more time. And I'm gonna actually do the Miss Jen a little better this time.
All right. And I am also pleased to announce that this year we have converted the old home ec room into what's known as a safe space. And now for a special introduction, this year, East High has a new drama teacher with an announcement that she swore in writing will not be too expensive. Go ahead, be brief. What is going on in here?
Oh, hello, Principal Gelman. I was just relaying some thoughts to my devoted assistant.
Why are you still in the building?
I just dropped by to gather some materials here and my vitamin.
Miss Jen, please don't force me to call campus security. You've got 10 minutes. I'm timing it. I'll ask one more time. Had you been to this establishment prior to last Friday?
Yes, sir.
So You knew they served alcoholic beverages.
Yes, but they also do a very nice trout teriyaki.
Did you offer to purchase alcoholic beverages for your students?
No, sir.
But you purchased a cocktail or two for yourself.
Actually, I was treated by an old friend.
And you chose to send these students home in your car because you were too intoxicated to drive.
I wouldn't say intoxicated. I mean, a little lightweight, Principal Gelman. I get tipsy from the wrong mouthwash.
Just answer the question.
I was not intoxicated. I just wanted them to get home safely. I thought I was being maternal.
Miss Jen, where did you attend college?
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Where did you go to college?
Okay. Now, there are some areas that you do need work on. When it's underlined, that means that you want to make sure that it's emphasized much clearer.
Yeah.
And flowing. Let's go into this area. I want you to pay attention to detail, actual detail. You're going to still be Principal Gelman, but you need to see the narrations before you speak, if you have them. Now, in my case, it says they turned to find Principal Gelman clouding the doorway. So you might want to act that out a little bit as to because apparently you're like in the doorway when you are speaking. So even if there's no doorway for you to be clouding at, just kind of present yourself as such, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's see how we do this time. And this will be our last time, and then we'll be done.
What's going on in here?
Oh, hello, Principal Gelman. I was just relaying some thoughts to my devoted assistant.
Why are you still in the building?
I just dropped by to gather some study materials and my vitamins.
Miss Jen, please don't force me to call campus security. You got 10 minutes. I'm timing it. I'll ask one more time. Have you been to this establishment prior to last Friday?
Yes, sir.
So you knew they served alcoholic beverages?
Yes, but they also do a very nice trout teriyaki.
Did you offer to purchase alcoholic beverages for your students?
No, sir.
But you purchased a cocktail or two for yourself.
Actually, I was treated by an old friend.
And you chose to send these students home in your car because you were too intoxicated to drive?
I wouldn't say intoxicated. I'm a lightweight, Principal Gelman. I get tipsy from the wrong mouthwash.
Just answer the question.
I was not intoxicated. I just wanted them to get home safely. I thought I was being maternal.
Miss Jen, where did you attend college?
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Where did you go to college?
Okay, and that's the end of that scene. So, how comfortable are you with cold reads?
I like them. They kind of fun.
I have a whole list of them. There's about 900 of them. Some of them are informational, some of them are fun like this. It just depends. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send this to you right away. In fact, I'm gonna do this right now. I'm not even gonna wait on it. Copy and paste. Do this right here, live. And then what you'll do is you'll practice that. Principal Gelman, we'll do that. Principal Gelman cold. Okay. I'll send it to myself too, because I gotta have that for something. All right, so there you go. You have that. So what we'll do is on Friday at 6 p.m. That's what we'll schedule you for. Or would you rather do it at 7? It doesn't matter to me. We're gonna focus just on the cold read and your monologue, and we're gonna do the recording. Now, if you want to practice a little bit with me on certain areas before the recording, then we'll do that. Otherwise, I think everything will be fine. At that point, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing the screen. So we don't really need that.
Friday at 6 is okay with me.
Okay, Friday at 6, okay. And so depending on where you're at, we would just go ahead and start recording and then just do the audition or what have you. And I have all your information from the packet, so I could submit that to them,
Okay.
you know, along with your other photos. And actually, we'll probably send the first set of the 5 photos since it seems to be your best that you like. But just make sure that if it's something that you don't like, then maybe get someone who is a photographer that could help you project those photos. But we're not doing photos during this week. You could we'll get back to that come Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, so in place of Saturday, we're gonna get you an audition, so that way then we can submit you over to Tammy and see what she thinks about you and your character and that kind of thing, and then go from there.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, it was great. If you don't have any other questions, then I wish you a very good night.
Same to you.
All right. Excellent. We'll be talking soon. All right. Again, Friday, 6 p.m. audition.
Got you.
All right. Take care.
You too.